Hey guys, so welcome back to California Carnivores. Today's segment of our ultimate seed growing guide is going to be on probably our most requested one, which is Venus flytraps. How do you grow a beautiful big Venus flytrap like this from seed? And this guy's actually dormant, it'll be even bigger in the spring and summer. And this is B52 for all of you guys who always ask what plant that is. So that's the B52 Venus flytrap, and this is what Venus flytrap seeds actually look like. Now, because they're so popular, you can find a lot of Venus flytraps for alleged Venus flytrap seeds for sale on Etsy or eBay. Be really careful with those. Almost always, they're not flytrap seeds. A lot of times they're dragon fruit seeds, sunflower seeds, sometimes it's just wheat. I've kind of seen everything. So we often sell seeds on our webpage, especially when it's a good time of year to sell them. You can always check there. Good reputable sources. The International Carnivorous Plant Society has a seed bank. That's a good place to get seeds from. Once you have them, how do you make them turn into plants? And that's what we're going to talk about today. A good time of year to do them with natural stratification is about mid-January to February. You're going to have to plan a little bit around your local weather, but you want there to be about 6 weeks of cold night temps below 40 degrees left, so you can stratify them. If you collect, so Venus flytrap seeds, they usually flower first, maybe around March, and then the seeds ripen quickly. You can usually collect seeds by May, June at the very latest. And so there's still plenty of growing season for them. So if you collect your own Venus flytrap seeds that you made fresh in May, you can sow those directly without stratification, and you'll get good germination on that. If you want to wait till the next year, you do need to stratify it. I know that's a little bit weird, but it's true. So a little cheat is if you sow them immediately, you can get away without stratifying them, but these are older seeds, so we are gonna have to stratify them. We're gonna use our piece of paper. I've already prepared my pots like we talked about in previous videos. If you haven't watched that video yet, go back and watch all the prep work that we've done to get to this point. And just like the American pitcher plant seeds, I'm just gonna march these on down. Oh, these march a lot faster. So the American pitcher plant seeds are kind of rough and brown. They have a rough texture, and because of that, they march slow down the paper. It's interesting to watch. These really wanna move fast because they're shiny and black. And we're just gonna sprinkle them. These are a little trickier too because once they fall on this dark soil, it's very hard to see them again. So kind of work in regions. If you have really good young eyes, you can probably still see them if you look up close. Magnifying glass. But you probably want to sow maybe a couple hundred seeds in here. Maybe have about 1/8 of an inch in between all the seeds, maybe a little bit less. It kind of depends. If you want to leave them in this pot for a long time, you can sow them really thin. If you want to plan on transplanting them really soon, like you could put a lot of seeds in here if you transplanted them in a few months into bigger pots. But they'll be really tiny. So it's probably better just to let them stay here for at least a year or two. So keep that in mind. I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good distribution on there. Hold that back up. Save those for later. So now again, we would mist these down. Just mist them down really well and get the surface wet, and then put them in a container like this, or a Ziploc bag. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna grab one. So a lot of you guys aren't gonna be doing a huge production amount of flytraps from seed, and you're just doing this to do a few. A gallon Ziploc bag is really great. And then you could just put 1 inch of water in the bottom of that and seal it up. A lot of times I'll put a little air in there so it kind of stays off the top. Just like that. And that way the bag doesn't collapse back down on top of the seeds. And you could either put this whole thing into the fridge for stratification, or if you're ready to germinate them, you can put them in a good place for them to start to sprout. And that would be bright indirect light. When they're all sealed up like this, you don't want it to be like direct hot sun. It'll cook the baby plants inside. Or you could also do these under grow lights. Any good high quality fluorescent or LED light should work. Keep them about 6 or 8 inches above the top of the plants. After you've sown them and they've come out of stratification, it will take them a while to germinate. This is a patience game, so it'll probably sprout in about as soon as maybe 2 weeks, but don't be surprised if they don't start to sprout or germinate for like 4 or 6 weeks. And it can take a few years to grow a Venus flytrap from seed to a big pot like this. We used to tell people like 7 or 8. There are some tricks that you can do to make it happen faster than 8 years. If you do them under grow lights, it's a good idea to do them under grow lights because they'll be so small their first year, they will be really, really tiny. If you do them under grow lights, you can skip the first maybe 1 or 2, even 2 winters. Don't make them go dormant, just keep the photo period on 14 hours. And they'll think it's spring and summer indefinitely and keep growing that way. And give them light fertilizer. We'll talk about that in another video. And if you do that, you could probably get a pretty good Venus flytrap in about 2 or 3 years. So it's well worth speeding it up. You want to save 4 years of your life. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed learning about growing Venus flytraps from seed and you're inspired to give it a shot. You can always check our webpage to buy seeds or plants. Follow us below for more great videos like this and leave us any questions if there's anything I left out.